Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Callie. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the party. That was a terrible theme song. So guys, today, grab your snacks, grab any type of drink of your choice. Preferably water, it's good for you. Hold on. You guys know I'm a mom because I have Teddy Grahams next to me and I don't have like chips or anything like fun. Like Teddy Grahams? Okay. Anyways, guys. So today's video, guys, is all about me. It's also about my life journey with diabetes. I thought we would have a sit down because I don't really put this on social media and I don't know why. I think I've just never been big on sharing personal stuff with me. Like I share a lot of life stuff or in the moment or with Stella, a lot of mom stuff, but being a mom, you forget about yourself. But today, guys, I'm gonna tell you guys my story of diabetes. Yes, I have diabetes and I am proud. So guys, I've been wanting to do this video for a while and I've actually been wanting to inform people, but yeah, I don't know, I just haven't gotten down to it. Procrastination at its finest. So yeah, today guys, I'm gonna tell you guys my story of how I found out I was diabetic and how my life's been so far. So sit down, grab your snacks, and let's get started. So guys, I am type 1 diabetic. And that is not the one where you are overweight. Type 1 diabetes is basically when you get it as a juvenile, as a child, and it runs in your family, or sometimes you get it when you're a little bit older, but it's usually when you're in your childhood era. So I got diagnosed when I was 6 years old, and I did not know, we didn't know we had diabetes in our family like that. So the first thing that was not on my mom's mind was, oh, she has diabetes, or oh, she could be diabetic. It was like, what is wrong with my child? So I got sick around the worst time because I got sick around Thanksgiving, and they were doing a bunch of tests. They were doing different things, trying to figure out what's wrong with me because I was 5 turning 6. And I started wetting the bed again, which I was potty trained. Why was I wetting the bed? I had no taste for food. I did not want any type of food. So I dropped a lot of weight and I just wanted liquid. I wanted water, juice, soda, anything that I could drink. I wanted it, and I wanted it now. My mood swings were terrible. So that's when my mom was kind of like, what's going on with my child? My grandma was a nurse, but she was a labor and delivery nurse. So she had only known about diabetes here and there, but not really a lot about it. But one day she was like, you know what, have them test her for this. That's the last thing they haven't tested her for. So they test me, then it's Thanksgiving break. So they're like, oh, we'll see you the following Monday. The weekend goes by and all I remember is going into the parking lot, and that's it. I don't remember going into the doctor's office that Monday. I remember the parking lot and then waking up in a hospital several days later. So yes, I found out I was diabetic in that moment because my blood sugar was actually 502 or 500 and something. And for a diabetic, being that high is really dangerous. So for me, it made me go into a coma, and I was in a coma for 2 days. So I was diagnosed with diabetes finally. I was in the hospital for 2 days in a coma, and they finally got my blood sugar down, got everything controlled, and I woke up. Thank God. My dad flew in from Texas, and it was just a whole spiel. I honestly did not know what was going on with me. I didn't really realize what was going on. I was like, oh, I'm in a hospital, cool. When you're a kid, you're like, oh yeah, the attention's on me, cool. But it really wasn't. So yeah, so I was in the hospital for like a couple weeks. Finally get out right before Christmas time. So I'm 6 years old. This is all happening. I missed kindergarten. I missed some weeks of kindergarten. Go back starting the new year, and my whole world was like different once I started school. I was like, okay, I'm not like a normal kid anymore. Um, my mom had to like teach the teachers about it every time I had a new teacher. My grandma was so great. She would come and like eat lunch with me to make sure like I was eating right and I was eating enough food and taking the insulin correctly. Because back then they had to give me my shots and they were like regular shots so you get like a doctor. Now I have like a really cool pen that is different, but back then, you know, I'm a child and I'm like, I don't want a shot. I don't want this. I don't want to do that. You know, as a kid, you don't really understand what's going on with you. So, yeah, thank God for my mom and my grandma for always being there and all of my family for always being so supportive and pushing me to be healthy, because if it was not for them, oh my gosh, I don't know where I would be. I don't know. I don't think I would be this healthy. So, big shout out to my family and the doctors I've had. They're great. Um, so yeah, so I'm in a kindergarten. It's my first year having it, and I hated it. I was kind of like, oh my God. And I went through the whole phase of having to have sugar-free everything, not being able to have what other kids had, not being able to eat certain things. And finally, at one point, my mom was like, you can have what these other kids have. You can have this. You just have to take a correction for it. You just have to not indulge yourself too much, which I mean, nobody should. You know, you shouldn't eat like 5 bags of chips or 5 bags of candy. That's very unhealthy. But yeah, I mean, I was able to eat everything normal like other kids. So once that started happening, and my doctors were like, yeah, like you can do this and you can eat this, it was kind of getting better for me at home. But when you're young, kids are mean, and I really didn't have like anybody make fun of me, but this like I think a big thing that stuck with me for so long is like kids don't understand what things are. Like they don't understand like if someone's sick or if they have diabetes or something. And a lot of the kids I went to school with, like, they didn't really understand. So, like, I would be able to, like, eat candy or have a juice during class, and they'd be like, oh, well, why is she so special? Like, why does she get to do that? And it would be like, I kind of have to. Like, I don't have a choice, you know? But that's what I went through for, like, all of my middle school, elementary, or whatever. Because you have one teacher, and I had to keep candy or juices, and I would just get one when my blood sugar would drop, you know. So they'd be like, well, why is she so special? And you know, kids don't understand. So that really stuck with me, because I'd always get stared at. I'd always get like, oh, what is she doing? And I don't know, I think as a kid you don't really want to be noticed like that. Like I didn't take it the best way. Yeah, I try to teach others about it and stuff, but like once you just have enough, you have enough. So yeah, I just always got stared at and always had a lot of questions. And it's like they weren't really understanding it. So I kind of stopped telling people I was diabetic if I didn't have to. I know that's crazy, and I know, like, Callie, why? Like, it's not their fault. I know it's not. But for me, I was like, it was so hard explaining, because people would just be like, oh, can you eat this? Can you eat that? Oh, you shouldn't be eating that. Or, oh, you know, my dog has diabetes. And it's like not the same thing. And people that don't have it, or they've heard things, they don't understand. Like it's different for every person. I mean, like what works for you might not work for me. And that's kind of how it was. So yeah, for a long time I didn't really tell people right off the bat, unless like they asked, or like, I don't know, it came up in conversation. And yeah, as I got older into high school, I would go to the nurse's office before lunch and do my blood sugar, you know, take my insulin. I had to, with them like supervising and stuff like that. and it was cool. I mean, I got to leave a couple minutes early before lunch and do that. And like my best friends in high school knew I was diabetic, but like a lot of other people didn't. And some people are probably watching this and are like, oh my God, I have no idea you're diabetic. And when I tell people, they have no idea. They're like, what? You're not diabetic, are you? And I'm like, yeah, I can do things other people can do. I just have to really watch it. Like, that's it. So during high school, it got a little bit easier, you know, because not everybody's in your business. I could keep food with me if I needed, or juice. And, you know, in high school, you can kind of like eat in class sometimes, or like, you know, drink your drinks. That's how it was for me. So I really had no issue, like, or any like questions or being stared at anymore. It was kind of great. And then, you know, I got into college, and then you're kind of on your own. So I didn't have any of that like conversation. Because even still being an adult, you still get those people that are like, oh, you shouldn't be eating that, or can you eat that, or oh, should you be doing that? And that is the worst thing I think people say. I mean, I'm sure people just don't know, but I think there's a better way, like, hey, can you eat that? Or hey, can you tell me about it? Like that kind of thing. So yeah, anyways, guys, so that was my story. That's how I found out I was type 1 diabetic, and I've had it for 19 years now. And yeah, I got through a pregnancy with it, and it was cool. So that's my story, and I hope that you guys took some information about this. If you don't really understand what diabetes is, go ahead and Google it. Type 1 though, okay? Type 1 and type 2 are totally different. If you have any questions, drop them down below. I will be answering them, or I can make another video on your guys' questions or how I do stuff day to day. But I definitely want to show more of that in my channel, because this year I want to be very real with you guys, and I want to show you guys my life and take you with me. And part of that is telling you guys that. So I also wanted to make this video because I think it's really important for people to know that like anybody can have anything going on with them, and you might just not know it, or they're scared to talk about it. Or if you were me as a young kid, like you were scared, or you didn't really like want the attention. But there's nothing to be afraid of, and there's nothing to, you know, if you don't want the attention, yeah, I totally get that. But talk about it, let people be known, teach people. And that's kind of what I do now. Like I like when people ask me questions and stuff. So it was a big turnaround from how it was when I was a kid. A big turnaround. But yeah, so that's my story, you guys. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something today. And if you like this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. And make sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!